In the context of South Sudan, cooperation is key and important for all the key players in the country, ICRC, Federation, and the participating national society.
Coordination is quite critical amongst the movement partners. Once we have specific objectives and activities, goals, we're able to leverage off each other's expertise, each other's resources.
احنا التعاون المثمر اللي صار بيننا وبين هذه الحركة الدولية الموجودة فيها منظمتنا هي اللي عم تساعد وعم نقدر نوصل مساعدات لأي منطقة في سوريا.
La présence du CICR, la présence de la Fédération à côté de la supranationale était de grand intérêt pour nous permettre de mieux coordonner le support que nous donnons à nos partenaires.
Implementing SMCC provides a good opportunity for all movement partners to work together and show the power of the movement, reflecting that it is not a theory but a mindset that brings advantages to all partners. There is a crucial role of SMCC process in the interaction between the movement partners. All movement partners serve one common goal.
We must really make sure that the cooperation is very strong. And it is not just plain cooperation, because this has to be an orderly and a systematic manner of cooperating and working.
Already we can record several successes. A movement coordination agreement is established and implemented upon movement partners.
احنا عم نشوف انه بالمبادرة اللي صارت للاس ام سي سي خلال هذه الأزمة يكون الاتفاق الثلاثي اللي توقع بيننا وبين الفيدريشن وبين الاي سي ار سي هو حيز لايصال مساعدات للناس أكثر ضعفاً.
We're just more ready to respond. We can respond quicker, and that's due to the MCA which has been developed, the mapping we've done around resources, and just having a better understanding of the organisations and how we will work together.
It is essential that our operations are well coordinated, do not duplicate each other.
Quand on est plongé dans l'action, on prend difficilement le temps de travailler sur la coordination, on ne prend pas la distance nécessaire non plus. Donc déployer un conseiller à la coordination ne serait pas futile.
In Ukraine, all the components of the movement have a common overall objective, supporting the host national society to achieve its mission.
Well, it's a recognition by the movement that the PRC has grown up to be one of the best Red Cross societies in the world in terms of volunteers, in terms of logistics, in terms of information technology that allows us to be first, always ready, always there in any disaster. This is the mantra.
From the Federation point of view, there's a great deal of support for the national society and the desire for a coordination amongst the partners. And we're all working to the same plan. But it's good to be reminded of the steps that are very practical to take to ensure appropriate coordination and cooperation.
But cooperation is not only beneficial to the national society, but I think it's a mutual benefit to all the partners that are involved. Because, for example, South Sudan Red Cross has a comparative advantage in terms of volunteer mobilization. We know the context very well. We have a very wide network across the country. So this gives us a leverage over our partners.
For me, the key success factor is leadership. I think you have to have in all the components of the movement leaders that are convinced that joining hands and doing things together is the way to go. What is key is to have the right mindset.
The movement is aimed to make the best use of the resource available, funding, people and experience.
Ça a donné beaucoup plus de souplesse en termes d'opération.
There's been a lot of achievement and improvement for each of us to understand what the SMCC is about.
Thanks to the implementation of the SMCC, we see how further we will have to increase our coordination mechanism.
Well, like all new processes, yes, there are some initial difficulties. We need to get together, we need to know each other, we need to harmonize our agenda, and this is being done, but I'm convinced that the end result will be indeed a more effective response by the movement.
Pour toute opération d'urgence, il faut se donner les moyens de gérer l'information, donc se donner les ressources humaines, financières et techniques. Et cela reste une lacune à combler.
of course, in the beginning it was a challenge because first of all the tools for the SMCC were not easy to understand.
On a besoin vraiment d'avoir des outils et de suivi très permanent de façon à mieux agir, mieux se coordonner et évidemment avoir plus d'impact dans les pays.
Increased coordination will lead to a more efficient response, which will and therefore reduce costs.
This coordination is also important when asking for funds with our donors. Donors must understand that the operations of the various components of the movement add to each other and do not overlap.
En faisant cet appel à mouvement, tout le monde sous le même chapeau, ça a permis une meilleure coordination en termes de décision et une meilleure distribution des ressources disponibles. Donc c'est ainsi que nous l'avons également appliqué en termes de répartition des ressources. Ça a rapidement permis de savoir quel est le partenaire qui a la meilleure capacité de réponse.
I think with that we become much more agile. We respond faster because we know from the onset what we have to do. We don't have to have long discussions. We know we have a framework. We start by informing each other. We immediately call for a mini summit. We have well defined the roles of each other. So basically it saves us time, and that is that's a key to success.
The message is simple. We are one Red Crescent movement working to make a positive change in the lives of vulnerable people.